If you're like me and you're interested in what other YouTubers make, then you've come to the right place. Except this video isn't about what everybody else makes so much as it is about how much I make. Now, one of the things I love about YouTube is that it gives me an opportunity to share my gifts, my talents with the world, and then I get to sit back and watch other creatives do the same. The second thing that I love about it is it gives us an opportunity to live out our wildest creative dreams while making some money. Now, some of us make way more money than others, and some make less. What I don't like about the platform is the clickbait. When people say they're going to open up their financial books so that you can see how much they've earned, so that you know how you stack up against your favorite YouTubers, and then they're less than forthcoming or they're lying by omission. I don't like that. Now, I'll say this really quickly. No one is obligated to sharing their finances with the world. I certainly don't take my information from my regular job and say, here, YouTube, this is how much I earned this week, this month, this year. I don't do that, right? But I figure if you're going to do a video where you're talking about transparency, if you're going to do a video where you say, I'm going to let you in on all my secrets or let you know how much I've earned, I do expect for you to be forthcoming. I'm going to tell you exactly how much money I've made from month to month for the year 2022 thus far. I think it's helpful because there's so many other smaller YouTubers like myself who want to know how their peers are doing so that they know how they rank, how they stack up. Lego. So welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Rogan, and this is This Bahamian Gyal, your ultimate guide to the Bahamas and Washington, D.C. In the past few weeks, I think I've been delving into other territory because, I'm human and I want to do different things. And so this week, I am sharing my finances with you all so you can learn what I earned. Now, for those of you who don't know me, you're coming across me for the first time, this is probably my third year. October may have marked my third year on the platform. I haven't been on it very long. And I wasn't immediately monetized. I know some people, they post a video and they hit overnight, boom, they get monetized. And to get monetized, for those of you who are unfamiliar, you're going to need 1,000 subscribers, a minimum of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. And I think sometimes it's harder to get the watch hours than to get the subscribers. But I was monetized maybe a year and a half after being on YouTube. I think that it was about a year and a half. And I have to be honest with you, because I was setting out to be monetized and that was like my singular focus for so long, that was my singular focus, I mistakenly thought that the minute I was monetized, like endorsements would be rolling in, sponsorships would be rolling in, that my Google AdSense, where I make money from, would just be like, just through the roof. I thought I was just going to be making a ton of money. And that did not happen. It didn't happen. Now, at the beginning of my journey on YouTube, I didn't know what I wanted to focus on. And so I focused a lot on beauty because I'm a woman. I enjoy makeup, but it's not like my thing. But that's what was so popular. The beauty realm is extremely popular on YouTube. And so I decided, well, I'll just do a few makeup reviews and some tutorials. And that got old very quickly. I used to do wig reviews and it was cool. And I stand behind every single video that I've ever done because I think I did it with really great care and professionalism. And I had fun doing it. And I think the audience enjoyed that as well. But deep down, it wasn't something that I really wanted to do. So I started to pivot. And then I ended up doing a lot of comedy sketches. And then I decided, you know what, I'm uniquely positioned because I'm a Bahamian from Nassau, Bahamas. There are lots of people who are interested in learning about that. And I'm living in Washington, D.C. And there are so many people around the world and around the country who are interested in moving to D.C. So I decided to pivot in that area and focus on the Bahamas and D.C. And then, of course, sprinkle in other content vlogs as it related to my life or things that I was going through or things that I wanted to talk about. So that's primarily what I do on this platform. Just giving you some background so you understand. And on the topic of pivoting, for those of you who are smaller YouTubers who are interested in making a change, or you just don't feel comfortable in whatever realm that you're in, don't be afraid to pivot. I always say, if I owned a burger shop, a hamburger shop, and I sold alligator hamburgers, and only 3 people came in to eat those hamburgers, nobody else wanted them. They wanted the regular burgers, or they wanted turkey burgers, or they wanted steak burgers, or whatever. I'd be a fool to continue selling just this alligator hamburger to an audience when it's only 3 people coming in. It's just not enough to survive. You have to make a business decision. So if you're going to be on YouTube and you want to be in it for the long haul and you want to make money on this platform, you're going to have to make the content that's going to, the tasty content that's going to bring people to the channel, just like you have to make tasty food in the restaurant that's going to bring the customers in. So I just wanted to add that in to say, you know, don't be afraid to pivot, even if you start off with something else. Because a lot of times people tell you that you have to niche down. And, you know, niching down is cool, yes, and people get to know you for that one thing, but it can get old really quickly. You can get bored really quickly. And I'm sure a lot of you don't want to do that. If you're going to be on the platform for a long time, then do something that really sates your soul. So I just wanted to add that in there. Now, my channel is, as I describe it, and many people would describe it, a smaller channel. I have almost 5,000 subscribers, and it's been a slow crawl to this stage. I didn't have overnight success. I've been putting in the work, and it's been over 100 videos and consistent growth, but not that exponential growth that you see with people like a Kelly Stamps or, you know, Mr. Beast. It hasn't been that. And I say all that because sometimes people will look at what those YouTubers are earning and have expectations that that's going to happen for them too. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you don't. So just be prepared for that. Now I'm going to give you the play-by-play month by month of how much I made. I have my notes written down right here, and I'll put some stuff on the screen as well. But one of the things I need to let you all know too, because again, people who are coming across this channel, we cannot, and I cannot assume that they just are so familiar with YouTube and how it works, that they should just know this stuff. I need to let you know that when you get paid from YouTube and you get paid once a month, this is after you've been monetized, you have to meet a $100 threshold before you even get paid. You can get paid by check or again, direct deposit. Okay, so you have to meet that $100 threshold, meaning your channel has to have earned $100 minimum in order for you to get a check. So let's just say we're in the month of November and you're due to get paid in December next month. If you only have $85 by the time you're scheduled to be paid for the next month, you will not get that money. You will not get that money until you hit $100, the $100 threshold. So just keep that in mind, because a lot of people will see some money sitting in their account and they're like, I have $75. Why can't they give it to me? No, it has to be a minimum of $100 in order for you to get that money. Another thing you need to know, if your earnings are coming primarily from Google AdSense, is that YouTube takes 45% of your revenue off the rip. 45% they get their cut. And, you know, what can you do? It's their platform. They're facilitating you even being on there. They're the reason why you have the ads, because you're not advertising your stuff to independent organizations. It's their ads that they're placing on your channel. So just keep that in mind. You'll also have to pay taxes to the US government, because we live in America and America is going to get its cut. Okay, so without further ado, because I know y'all ain't coming here for no long talking, I want to give you a play-by-play of what I've earned so far. So, and you're going to be surprised because it has not been a lot of money, honey. In January, I earned $190.96. This is January 2022. $190.96. In February, my channel earned $106.59, $106.59. In March, I earned $120.29. In April, I earned $128.66. In May, I earned $115.86. In June, I earned $168.12. In July, I earned $163.04. In August, I earned $161.05. In September, I earned $149.93. In October, which was last month, I earned $126.96. And in November, I earned $130.08. So far for the year, my grand total has been $1,561.54. I cannot survive off of that. I cannot live off of that. At this point, with that type of money, YouTube is a hobby. A lot of people are interested in becoming full-time YouTubers. You gotta be making some serious bank. That's not even enough to pay my rent. And that's for almost like a whole year. That's for a whole year. I pay more in rent per month than I've made in the whole year so far on YouTube. I have to say a few things here. Um, like I said in the beginning, I always thought like I'd be rolling in the dough just off of ads, but you have to have the kind of channel that how do I describe this? That advertisers want to put money into. And there's some things you need to understand. That the beauty industry will always gravitate towards the YouTubers who are doing beauty content. Comedy doesn't get a lot of ads. Like they will get ads, but they won't get ads the way like a beauty YouTuber would, or a travel vlogger would, because with travel, you know, you can have your TripAdvisors, your Expedias, your all these different companies that specialize, like the Verbos or Airbnb. All these different companies can advertise on their channel. So you want to keep that in mind when you are niching down, if that's what you decide to do, when you're trying to find an area that you want to specialize in. That's extremely, extremely important. I was gone away from YouTube for a few months. I was doing monthly content. When I first started, I was doing weekly content consistently for a week. And then I was going through some life changes and I decided I'm going to slow down on that. And I was doing content once a month. And I was still making money, but it wasn't an astronomical amount of money. I see some smaller YouTubers who have 5, 6, 7,000 subscribers, and they're consistently making $500, $600 a month, way more than I do. There's so many factors that are involved in that. Of course, the content that they're producing matters. Where they live matters. If you are in New York or LA, there's a greater deal of attention on those two cities versus if you lived in North Dakota, unless you have some extraordinary content that's showing, you know, that part of town or that state. So you have to be cognizant of the fact that just the mere fact that you're in New York, for example, everybody just gravitates towards New York. They want to know what life is like in New York. So you're gonna get more eyeballs on your video just by the mere fact that you're doing content in a hot popping city like New York or out in Los Angeles. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I want to talk about subscribers because a lot of times people focus just exclusively on subscribers. Subscribers are great for the optics. Subscribers are great because what you're trying to do is establish a loyal fan base where those people who subscribe to your channel come back to your channel repeatedly. If they don't, your viewership is going to decline. It's going to be so low. And at the end of the day, if you're only relying on Google AdSense, like I am right now, you're not going to have the eyeballs on those ads. They're not going to be watching your ads in you know, past a certain point. So many people think about when you're on YouTube, you probably just skip through YouTube ads because you just want to keep going to the content, and that affects the YouTubers their finances, and it affects their ad revenue. So all those things come into play, and you have to be cognizant of that. The money that I've made from this channel has been enough to pay maybe an insurance bill here or there, phone bill, or, you know, my internet bill, but it has not been something to sustain me in the long haul. It's like pocket change money from my channel. I want to grow on this platform, and so I'm constantly looking at the analytics to see what is performing really well. Sometimes, and this is something I need to say as well, sometimes you'll get somebody who is so interested in the content that you put out and they subscribe immediately to your channel. But here's what happens and why they don't come back. And I'm going to give a clear-cut example. I've gotten a lot of my subscribers off of my Bahamas content. There are so many people around the world who are interested in relocating to the islands of the Bahamas that they are looking for every and anyone who is giving some intel as to what life is like there. So I have quite a number of videos on my channel that I rank really well for when you're looking for Bahamas content. You'll find several of my videos will come up in the search. This is great, right? That's a niche. But when I decide to do content on Washington, D.C., those people who have come to my channel and subscribed to my channel because they enjoyed my Bahamas content aren't necessarily interested in my DC content, and vice versa. There are people who come because they want to know more about living in Washington, D.C., but they're not so much interested in when I'm doing content on the Bahamas or how Bahamians are, so they don't engage with the platform. But if I were to put something else out about Washington, D.C., then you'll see those subscribers reactivated. So you have to be careful about that. The same thing happened on my channel with it almost was like a series for my apartment search. When I was looking for the apartment, when I found one and I did an empty house tour, and then when I did the decoration for my channel, those people who subscribed because they love that home decor content, they came to the channel. But then when I pivoted and started doing things about DC or the Bahamas, which was my primary focus, it was just like, okay, I'm not going to be as engaged. So that happens. And when they're not engaged and not coming to your channel, or new people aren't coming to your channel, they're not going to be watching your ads. So that's something that you have to really, really think about. So that brings me to the end of my video, guys. I really just wanted to share the numbers with you. I wanted to keep this video short. I hope it's short in post-production because I always run on much longer than I need to. But like I said, for the year thus far, I've made $1,561.54, which is great. You could pay insurance with that money. You could pay up a couple, you know, like the things with, you could buy a camera for the channel if you so desire, or a ring light, or some lighting gear, or audio gear, that sort of thing. And I tend to take my money and put it right back into the channel for things that I do need. I'm not going to invest too much money into it because to me, the channel has to pay for itself. I don't want to take money from somewhere else to do that. And so far I'm satisfied with, I still use my phone. This is a phone right here for my content. I've been using that from day one. So when the money kicks in, then I can upgrade to get something else. If it doesn't kick in, then gotta hold the line. But I hope that this video was helpful for you guys. Again, let me repeat that figure, $1,561.54 for the entire year so far. January was my highest month, ladies and gentlemen. January was my highest month, $190.96. That was the highest. And my lowest was February. Wow, back to back, the highest and the lowest. January was my highest month of earnings, $190.96. And February was my lowest at $106.59. So not a lot of money. Not a lot of money. And I like being honest and open and transparent with people, because I think a lot of times people will look at someone on TV and think they just are so balling. Oh, they're on YouTube, they make it so much money. No. And even though I'm saying this is no money, right? Because it's not even enough to pay my rent for the month, and that's what I earned in almost a year. There are people who don't even make those figures. There are some people who make $15 a month, or $11 a month, or 20-something dollars a month. And so hopefully I can get to that place where I'm probably earning a minimum of like $1,000 a month. That'd be really good. And even that wouldn't be enough for me to talk about being a full-time YouTuber. That's not something that I'm interested in at that kind of money. I'd have to be making some serious dough. Like, honestly, to go full-time for me, I think I'd have to be making like $6,000. I'm not even joking. $6,000 a month, because it's subject to so many things. You know what I mean? Like, it's subject to so many things. Oh, before I go, let me give you a tip too. Let me give you a tip before I leave, guys. This is a very important tip. One of the things I try not to do on this channel is to use profanity. When I do my sketch comedy, my skits, you know, sometimes I'll say the A word, or, you know, I might say the B word. And I try to keep that at a minimal, right? Minimal. I don't want to be using profanity on my channel, just because I always want my videos to be seen widely. I want, even if a child comes across my channel, I want them to be okay with what I'm saying on the channel. Or if somebody picks it up for a news station, I don't want them to have to heavily edit out my channel. But there's even more of a method to my madness than that. There are some advertisers who do not want to be affiliated with a channel where someone is incredibly lascivious or profane. So if you want your channel to go far, and you want at least the opportunity for everybody, the good, when I say the good companies, I shouldn't say it like that, right? But the companies that you would probably want to attract, you know, if Disney were to come along, they're not going to come on your channel if you're using, you know, F-bombs every 5 seconds. They're not going to do that. So I would definitely keep that sort of stuff to a minimal. I don't think people really talk about that sort of stuff. And I know in YouTube Studio, they will ask you to say if you have like profanity in your video and that sort of stuff. and you have to kind of self-identify, because advertisers reserve the right to not advertise with certain channels if they're going to be, you know, lewd. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your content. Just, it's up to you. If you're somebody who likes to curse a lot, and you know, then go for it. That's what you do. But I'm just saying, understand that some advertisers aren't going to want to advertise on a channel that does that. So that's just food for thought. Always make your content, in my estimation, clean enough that it can be that any advertiser could come and advertise on your channel. If that makes sense. The good advertisers. But okay, thank you so much. This has gone on too long. You guys know how much I've made for the year so far. And I hope this was helpful. If you're somebody who is interested in YouTube and you thought it was going to be way much more money, you know, and it can be, it's just not my reality. And I like to, you know, be honest with people. You can make a lot of money on the platform. You just have to hit the right balance of a lot of different things. So that's how much I earned, guys, for the whole year. So far, I've earned $1,561.54. $1,561.54. What else was I going to say? There are YouTubers who make way more money than this. There are people who make consistently $500, $800, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 a month. People who make $6,000 a month. I think I remember watching a video with Kelly Stamps who was talking about making $10,000 or $12,000 a month. So those things happen. She has way more subscribers than I do. She has endorsements and that sort of thing as well. But that happens, but that's not everybody's reality. And I think the majority of the people who are on this platform are not making anywhere near the money of a PewDiePie or Sniper Wolf or Mr. Beast. They're just not making that. So please don't assume that because someone is on YouTube and, you know, whatever, that they're just making a boatload of money. They're not making a ton of money in most instances. But I wish more YouTubers would be honest so people can know what to expect. And also, in being honest, and like I said, nobody's obligated to sharing how much they earn. If you're a YouTuber, and to be honest with you, if I ever got to the point where I was making like 15, 20,000 a month or whatever from YouTube, I don't know that I would share that, just because you kind of make yourself a target. But don't do a video talking about transparency and then don't be transparent. That's the issue that I have. Anyway, guys, this has gone on way longer than I thought it would go. I hope you enjoyed. If you like this content, please give it a thumbs up. If you did not like it, please give it a thumbs down. I don't care. Just engage with the platform. Of course, if you know somebody who's interested in YouTube and you want to give them a dose of reality, give them a reality check, please send this comment, or rather this video, to them. You can share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it wherever you want to share it. And if you are a YouTuber who is not making buku dollars, not making thousands of dollars, you know, hit me down below and let me know, like, what were your expectations when you first came on the platform? I'm really interested in learning. So love you guys, mwah, and I'll see you guys next week, Wednesday at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Bye. Love you.